Hey guys, it's Elizabeth. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about what I like to call the silent void period in the manifestation journey. And this is one that I have experienced time after time. And I have a lot of manifesting experience. So I want to assure you, if you are in this space where you are doing all of the things, the visualizing, the maintaining your presence and waking up and snapping in your slide, and you are seeing either something completely opposite of what you're intending to manifest, or you're not seeing anything at all, that this is actually an important time period in your manifestation journey that you need to just stick with it, maintain your faith, and move to the other side. And I'm going to explain exactly how to do this so you don't lose the traction that you've already built up as you have spent the time doing all of the things. So don't worry, I'm going to break it down in a very easy, simplified format to help you get through the silent void. So the best way for me to explain this is with an example of my own when I was going through manifesting my soulmate, who, by the way, is my now husband. When I was going through my divorce, I said, I don't want to do this again. I am never having another relationship. I am done. It was hurtful, and anybody who has gone through a divorce can probably relate to how difficult it is. And at some point, my mind started to shift a little bit, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm open to this. And eventually I became very open and very excited to manifest my soulmate. But this time I wanted to do it differently. I was very intentional, about what I wanted in a partner. I got very clear, and I used my intuition to clarify exactly what I wanted. The other thing is, for those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that I use symbols in my manifestation. And I think this is a very powerful tool, and that's for another day. But I use the archetype symbol of the magician as what I was intending, the highest qualities that I wanted in a partner, in a very symbolic way. But the universe showed up with a sign so in my face, with a person who literally wrote a book with the title Magic in its name. And this person, as a child growing up, had dabbled in magic, not from the mystical sense, but, literal magic tricks. And I'm like, are you kidding me? How in your face can this be? So I was like, wow, this is a relationship I need to try out and test out. But through that process, the universe also threw a huge wrench in the way. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, things are going fine. We had gone on a trip away. We had gone on vacation together. And then all of a sudden, this person out of the blue broke up with me and, gave some kind of crazy reason. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I am manifesting this thing. I'm getting all these signs that this is the right relationship for me. And all of a sudden, things aren't working out. And I for a very short while was like, oh my God, what is going on? And started to doubt things. And this is what you should not do. You should not start to doubt the universe, right? The universe has your back, and you probably have, if you look back on your life, 10 to 20 different ways that you can say an evidence that shows you that the universe always has your back. So that is step one. If you find yourself in this silent void where things are either going opposite or nothing is happening, I want you to take a journal out right now and start listing all the times the universe has showed up for you, because the universe will not let you down. Even in my darkest days, where I was going through the divorce and my son didn't want to see me and he was really mad because of the divorce, I can tell you from where I'm standing today, when I look back, I can see the difference. So that's step number one. Moving on with the story. So at some point, it was the fall time. This had just happened. That tends to be a time of the year for me I go very inside and need to reflect and see how things are transforming, and it makes me a little down. And in that space, I allowed myself to feel those feelings. It's very toxic when spirituality, some of the ways that we hear spirituality, how it shows up is always see the positive. And yes, I want you to always see the positive and flip that switch when you start getting down and getting negative. But that does not mean that you don't feel those feelings. You have to get through it. And the only way to get through it is to feel it, not to push it away. Acknowledge what it is this happening. I felt disappointed. I felt all of these different feelings. I thought I was on my way to manifest, but I drew myself back. I know that I am still on track for my manifestation. I'm feeling sad right now. I'm feeling disappointed right now. And how can I use this energy to create the new lifeline that I want? And remember, we are manifesting to a different lifeline. What is happening right now around us is already playing out on its own film roll. And our job is to switch to the film rolls until we get to the one that's for our highest and best of what we're intending. We're not creating anything, we're moving to a new script. And so this is not the script that I want. And I'm looking for big examples of that film strip flip. Sorry. And I'm not seeing anything. But in this moment, I want you to ask yourself, am I responding based on my old habits? Am I responding in a way that doesn't serve me? How can you flip that switch and realize that you are down here immersed in what's happening and you can't see the higher level? So if I had pushed and prodded for that relationship because the universe gave me that sign, I would be in a terrible relationship for myself today. It would not be with my soulmate, and I would have never found my soulmate today had I pushed through and tried to force that, because that wasn't meant for me. Was it a stop on the journey to get where I am today? Exactly. That's exactly what it was. But it wasn't the be all end all. I had to go through that to get here because the timing wasn't right. And I was never going to get here without going through that. So you have to have the trust in the universe, that faith that everything is working out for you. But at the same time, you have to feel those feelings. So the next step after you gain your trust back, you need to keep going through the process. You keep visualizing. And for me, by that time, I was getting bored of it. I had the scene and I was going through it every night as I was going to bed. I'd replay it over and over again. And I bet I replayed that in my mind 10 million times. And it gets boring. And that's okay. That's a sign to you that everything is working out and those importance levels are dropping. And that's a great thing. Once it kind of goes away and you don't feel like, oh, I gotta have it anymore, that's a sign that you are pretty close. Now, the other thing here is manifesting creates, you need a lot of energy to manifest. And when you are able to put that energy into yourself and create that energy, that is also a good time when you are in this spot of that silent void to start focusing on yourself, focusing on your development, and increasing your energy levels. And that's exactly what I did in this space. I used the time to exercise. Exercise is a great way to build your energy. I use that time to meditate and to do intentional journaling about what I really wanted in that partner, to continue to clarify and get exactly clear on what I wanted. And so that's exactly what I am calling you to do today if you are in that quiet void. And then notice those micro shifts. So instead of looking for those big in your face signs that things are happening, and in my case, it was telling me like the opposite, right? That relationship went away. Look for the micro shifts, and they might just show up in very, very mundane things in your everyday life. And in those very small shifts, like, wow, the pair of shoes I've been hoping for shows up. Just the little signs that you're in alignment with everything going on in the universe. So if you're in this space, I would love to hear the examples that are showing up in your life. Put that in the comments. I'd also love if you are on the other side of that space, your powerful examples of what you experienced. I am also going to be starting a 7-day manifestation reset challenge that is going to walk you through 7 very fun, very quick exercises to power up your manifestation process, your manifestation journey. And I would love for you to experience this with me. We are starting soon. You can sign up at myspiritualbeginnings.com/challenge waitlist. The link is also in the description, and I would love to see you there. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll catch you next time.